Some time ago with the Edge of Fate reveal stream, we got a teaser of the next paid expansion of Destiny 2 and an official title. Renegades was the next big chapter of Destiny 2 with some very familiar references shown right off the bat. A familiar Empire alarm with a pistol similar to Han Solo's iconic C-96 Mauser blaster, a very immediately recognizable lightsaber complete with its unique sounds, and a desert landscape complete with a town that looks straight out of Tatooine. Initially, this was extremely well received. In the past, Bungie made some Halo crossover with weapons in the 30th anniversary package, so with Lucasfilm Games in collaboration with Bungie, there was for sure going to be a few weapons straight from Star Wars in Destiny 2. Paired with a pre-order rewards armor set that was pulled straight from the films, Renegades had some very good hype off the start, even if some people were groaning at not only another collaboration, but another that would be directly tied with the story. Multiple times when discussing Renegades, Bungie mentioned how often Renegades was inspired by Star Wars.
In special collaboration with Lucasfilm Games, we took inspiration from Star Wars to craft a one-of-a-kind Destiny story.
We took inspiration from Star Wars. We took inspiration from Star Wars. We took inspiration from Star Wars.
Which to me was false advertising, because if you were inspired by something, you put your own unique spin on a certain concept, not copying another franchise's homework and rephrasing it to not look too copy-paste. Which when watching the Renegades reveal stream, copy-paste was the only thing that came to mind. I get that Bungie has obvious permission from Lucasfilm Games to work with Star Wars concepts and properties, but using as many of them as possible just reinforces the idea that Bungie is truly out of original ideas. Just in the opening minute of the Renegades Vidoc, we see so many Star Wars references our eyeballs were overflowing with the Lucasfilms logo. A not X-Wing crashed in the swamps of not Dagobah, a not ATST with familiar blaster sounds on not Hoth,
The encounter.
a POV of wielding not Han Solo's blaster, a shot of a warlock igniting a not lightsaber, a crashed not Jabba the Hutt's party barge right next to a not Sarlacc pit on not Tatooine, and an imitation of the original Star Wars opening right next to the drifter frozen in not Carbonite. That's just in the first minute, and there's 10 more minutes to go in this Vidoc. Then they talk about the opening story. In the aftermath of the prophecy, basically since one of the 9 died, we are all going to die, need to deal with the 9 sort of stuff, a new faction has unnaturally risen to power and Drifter thinks the 9 are responsible. The Vanguard does not believe him and does not support him, resulting in the Drifter going rogue and trying to take down the Barrett Imperium on his own. Also, the Imperium has some sort of weapon we're going to need to destroy. Literally, they refer to it as they have a weapon.
There's a weapon that the Barrett Imperium have made.
This all just sounds like not Rogue One complete with a not Death Star. Bungie has tried to say so many times this is a one-of-a-kind Destiny story
To craft a one-of-a-kind Destiny story.
but I'm more liable to believe it's a Star Wars story with some weird characters in it.
These are Destiny locations. It's just we're taking inspiration from some of these.
At this point, you may have noticed 2 counters on your screen. Top left is the counter for how many times something not Star Wars is sarcastically noted, and top right is how many times Bungie was inspired by Star Wars. Now let's discuss jobs and that it just sounds like Bungie's best take on making Helldivers 2 in Destiny. Starting with the main activity just referred to as jobs, are specific types of missions against one of the 3 factions present, dropping in a different location each time, different objectives each time, and different times in a day and night cycle. Potential random curveballs and side objectives on maps like a random missile tower you need to divert and take out lest it become a problem. Finishing your mission and getting to extract with whatever time you have left. Once you signal for extract, all hell breaks loose and you do your best to exfil or die trying. If you thought that was me just explaining Helldivers, trust me, it sounds just like it. Then they discuss Renegade abilities that are just plain stratagems, a fancy little poker chip that you toss out and use to call airstrikes, Cabal drop pods, or even summoning vehicles and turrets, all with its own upgrade tree. If Bungie is doing their best on a Helldivers-esque activity, I'll just stick with Helldivers 2 instead. Their community managers seem much better at direct feedback and communication. Oh, and the best part? You can invade other players' missions Gambit style, so if you are into griefing, this is perfect for you. But this is not only opt-in, but from Bungie's own mouths, Invasion has a chance to earn bonus rewards.
You're taking a higher risk, so therefore there's a chance of higher reward depending on how you handle that. And
frankly, if it's not guaranteed, why even bother? Fairly certain 90% of players, if there are any left after Ass and Irony, will just permanently opt out of invasions to save themselves the trouble. only opting in for some exotic quest steps if it happens.
When we looked at Mos Eisley as inspiration, we took that inspiration.
Now for our Destiny 1 veterans, do you remember the old subway beneath Mars Tarsus Junction? That place where we closed all the Vex gates and later was revealed to be an entry into the Black Garden? Now that's not Mos Eisley, an underworld hangout for all kinds of shady individuals. 3 crime syndicates we will encounter, namely the Pikers, atheist fallen that don't worship machines, the Totality Division of Cabal, a subsect of the Barren Imperium that just sounds like not Sith Inquisitors, then the Tarsus Reformation, former Coral Vex that broke away from Maya's influence and are discovering independence. Also the reason why Bungie said if you wear clothes, you do crime.
Wearing clothes, doing crime.
They're starting to do crime. They're wearing clothes.
Crime and wearing clothes are what all individuals do.
Then branching out of the Vidoc into the main reveal stream, the weapons featured in Renegades will be a new type of weapon that seem to be as Star Wars as possible, pulling ammo directly from reserves with an overheat and vent mechanic. Oh, and I know I mentioned not Han Solo's blaster, but also shown was not Mando's disruptor rifle. Frankly, if you played any one or more of the recent Battlefront games, you would probably already be well acquainted with the venting mechanics. Oh, and can't forget that if you pre-order on top of the not Darth Vader, not General Grievous, and not Kylo Ren armor, you also get a not X-Wing jump ship and a not Rebel logo emblem, fresh off the presses as soon as the reveal stream is over. Now I know this last bit may just be a nitpick with what I'm about to point out, but Bungie is so scared about spoiling anything, they hide literally everything they can. They talked about this one character shown that is a Warlock of the Praxic Order, clearly story relevant, but never even shared their name the entire dev stream that I could tell. Swear Bungie has a phobia of potential spoilers. They hold back as much info as possible to an irritating degree. Like when every DLC and season was a code name, but Bungie felt it was the right time to reveal what armors would be getting exotic ornaments next season. Now, as much as I am a Star Wars fan, Star Wars in Destiny was not the way to get me personally interested in Renegades after Edge of Fate looked so not worth it after the portal became a thing, and Ash and Iron turned out to be so terrible I renamed it to Ass and Irony. I'd have been far more excited if I didn't feel like I already played the story having watched Rogue One and Star Wars already. If Renegades was a completely original Destiny story exempt of so many Star Wars references, I'd have more interest. I'd take the lightsaber if it was the only collaboration piece, but Bungie is clearly relying on Star Wars nostalgia to sell this DLC. But even now, I'm not certain it will save Bungie long term. Personally, after bleeding Star Wars dry like it was Fortnite, Bungie has even more mistakes to make up for. All that being said, how are you currently feeling about Renegades? Did you pre-order it the moment you saw a lightsaber, or are you canceling your pre-order after dealing with the portal and its BS power grind? However you are feeling about Renegades, the comments are open for discussion. If you're looking to support my channel in case Lucasfilms or Bungie wants to sue me for defamation, be sure to like and subscribe. Don't actually think it will happen, but you never know when you call out something attached to Disney nowadays. On that note, my name is the Mad Scorpion, and I will see you in the next video.
We took inspiration from Star Wars. We're taking inspiration.
When we looked at Mos Eisley as inspiration, we took that inspiration.